Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Comic Shop Talk, now on the Late Night Chat Network. That's right, everybody. I'm your host, Nico, and joining with me today, as always, my co-host, Chris. How you doing?
Hey, not too bad. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Here to talk about another week of comics, everyone. And if it's your first time checking this show out, make sure to like and subscribe. If you like what you saw here today, you can leave a comment, hit that thumbs up, that like button here for us. You can hit the notification bell to be notified when these shows do come out weekly. I talked about our last episode. DC has now gotten rid of their Tuesday release on books. Everything comes out on Wednesday now, like it used to be, like before. So, these shows, our goal is to get them out there for you by the end of the week at the latest. So, every Tuesday, if not earlier, like Sunday, Monday, to check for a new episode. But you can also follow us on Instagram or like I said, hit that notification bell. It'll kind of give you a little notice that these shows go out when they do that way. But we are going to try to put out the episodes before the new week now that DC has changed that of comics. So it gives you a chance to read your stuff and then come and check out the show here. Also, make sure that you are subscribed to us on the Late Night Chat Network. Late Night Collectors Community, which is our old YouTube channel, which was basically just an extension of the Late Night Chat Network stuff where we were putting these comic episodes and things like that, like more hobby content, stuff about cards, comics, all this other kind of stuff. Well, we're back over on the Late Night Chat Network. It's your first stop for pop culture talk. That's right. That's the new slogan there, Chris. So if you like that there, we're gonna start using that. Yeah, so that's kind of what, we felt it was a good place back over here on the Late Night Chat Network. As a result of that, we're kind of pivoting, trying to focus on some more like pop culture related stuff, and comics fits into that mold. So why not? Right. So here we are back on Late Night Chat Network. So if you guys are subscribed over at Late Night Collectors Community, make sure you subscribe to us at Late Night Chat Network. And then probably in about another week or so, it's going to be deleted, that YouTube channel. So yeah, all of our content, all of our videos, playlists are over here now on the Late Night Chat Network. Like I mentioned, read your books and come back if you're worried about getting spoiled. So here's a little spoiler warning. We are going to be talking about what happens in the books this week, and we are talking about the books that came out for the week of July 24th, 2024 this week. Comic Shop Talk, episode 138. Yeah, and there we go. Forgot to do my little rundown here. All right, Chris, that all being said,
That's it. Let's talk comics then.
let's talk some
Cheers.
comics. Cheers. Got my not water here. All right. First up on the docket here today, we got Nemesis Rogues Gallery #1, which is the release of, I guess this is the first book that Mark Millar is putting out through Dark Horse now that he's got all of his Miller World books coming through Dark Horse. I think this is the first release I think we've seen since switched over, right? Yeah. And Nemesis, he was down and out, it looked like, at the end of Big Game, but here he is once again. He got messed up, but he's still alive. So he's laid up in a hospital bed at the start of this one. What'd you think of this, Chris?
That wasn't too bad. He's like you say, he's down and out, and I think this pretty much takes place right away after his last one. So he's laid up in a hospital bed and really in rough shape there. And I think that big line there where he's eating chicken and grinding it down to the bones, that comes into play a bit later on.
It does.
With a nice beginning of violence, I guess. And that's one thing this book doesn't hold back on. It's just violence. There's no redeeming this character. I was always worried that, somehow they're going to make this guy into a good guy at the end. But, I think he makes his way out of there somehow and gets to, I don't know what that land is called, but wherever those people that sort of sorted him out.
It's kind of like a play on like Tabula Rasa or whatever, that place that from Batman, where
the League of
Bane is from. Yeah, where the League of Shadows. Yeah, it seems like that's what they're playing off of. And then given the fact that what we see at the end of this issue, he's basically an evil Batman, this guy. Like Mark Millar is just taking a bunch of themes, it seems like, from Batman now and kind of injecting it into this story, in my opinion, right? So I thought that was kind of interesting. Yeah, I forgot what they call it. It's like Bobby Rasa or something like that.
Like Camarade or something, like, but whatever. But one line there is like, he takes 50 the blood from 50 bodies.
Yeah.
To heal him, and that's just like per day. And it sounds like he was there for a while.
And that's their version basically of the Lazarus pool,
Yeah.
essentially. Yeah, like that's what like because he goes to this place where he chews the guy's face off. He goes to this place and yeah, like you said, he goes there to get healed because he can't move, like he's basically crippled and he's laid up in a bed. And yeah, they essentially throw him in a rejuvenation pool of some sort. And like you said, they're talking about sacrificing 50 people per day in order to. And the guy says, "Yeah, we're gonna be here for a couple of months until you're healed." So it's crazy. The stuff that this looks ridiculous. Like like listen, it's fun. I have a lot of fun with this, but it is ridiculous. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like it's any more ridiculous than I don't know. But you know, comics should be ridiculous sometimes, and this is like, come on, Chris. Like, it's kind of like, first off, I had a couple of questions for this issue. One, why is that guy in the hospital allowing him to chew bones? First of all, like chicken.
Yeah.
Why is there bones in there?
He's even getting chicken.
I know, it's like ground up chicken. And they're allowing this guy to chew the bones in it. He's like, oh yeah, he likes it. I've never seen anything like it. It's just like his back teeth. So that's just weird. I know it kind of lent itself to the fact that he could use it as a weapon, like an actual, like, you know, make it like he spit like a sharp chicken bone.
Wouldn't he be in some like maximum security prison, like not just some random hospital bed?
So that's my other question. My other question was, the guy that comes to assassinate him says that he's been there undercover for 6 months. He's been waiting so they could change his shift to the night shift. I'm like, are you crazy? Like, what? Like, seriously, you're sitting there for 6 months waiting.
Yeah, you didn't have a window to kill him.
This guy's like an orderly for 6 months just so he can get on the shift to get in there. I'm like, wow, you really suck at your job. If that's the case. That's what I was thinking. Because at the end, they come in, like, they go and see the guy that he ended up like injuring, like I guess the nurse or whatever in the hospital. He's blind now, and they're like, oh, we're part of an organization of people that have been screwed over by him. We also hate this guy.
Yeah.
And the best piece of dialogue was the guy, like, he's laid up in the hospital bed. He's like, some woman just starts talking to him and asking him questions like, who's there? I can't see. So I don't know. Mark Millar seemed to like phone some of the details in on this one a little bit.
But it's still a good time.
Oh yeah, I just think it was funny. It just made me laugh. I'm just like, yeah, how bad are these guys? Like, and then the thing at the end got me super interested, where it looks like he's gonna have he's like, yeah, I'm gonna have my own ward, like his own sidekick, essentially, right? It looks like he's gonna have like an evil Robin to join in on the fun, and then just you get this. You see Buddy there, crazy dude in a cell here, who I believe might be another Mark Millar character from one of his other books, and I'm just not recognizing him. I'm sure it is, because the way with all these characters, like that's probably somebody from some other book. I'm just not
sure that's not going to work out too well either. So
what do you think? Yeah, what do you think of the art on this though? Unfortunately, it wasn't our boy there, Jimenez, right? Or who has?
Yeah,
is that who drew the last one? I can't remember. Like,
yeah, it's either him or Pepe Larraz or something.
Oh no, it was Jorge Jimenez, the Batman artist. Yeah, I'm just looking at my trade there on the shelf. Yeah, this looked okay, but it wasn't Jorge Jimenez. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, he drew the Nemesis Reloaded one, and Pepe Larraz drew the big game one. I think this is a bit of a step down, honestly. In terms of the art. It's okay. Yeah, what'd you give this?
I'd give this a 4.
Same, 4. Yeah, I think that's 4 out of 5 for sure. Yeah, it was fun. It's just ridiculous.
It's just something different in a good way, you know?
Oh, yeah. I'm not putting it down. I really enjoyed this issue. It's so funny. All right. Next up, we got NYX #1. One of the new X-Men titles. Yeah, nice cover. Yeah,
it's got the art germ. It's basically the only reason I bought this. I was, you know, I would have sat out of this one here. And after reading it, I might end up sitting it out anyways. Nothing really brought me back in to see what's going on. I do like the characters there with the cuckoo Sophie. She seems interesting, but I think this is more of a teen aim book. So, you know, maybe I'll kind of keep an eye, see what's going on there. But I don't know, it's not much for me.
I don't mind like a book of like a Young Avengers or like a Young X-Men type of book. But this kind of seems like more so like these are just young people living in the city having like
Yeah.
happen to be mutants type of book, right? So I didn't love this all so much either. Like you said, I don't know if I'm the right audience for this one. And I don't know. There's a lot of moments in this where they're running around calling out people for being racist to mutants, which which like, you know, it's always a thing in these books for sure. But I don't know. And then like it ended on this whole thing about like there's like a whole new like the Hellfire Club people, like all the rest of the cuckoos who aren't this one, and Hellion, who is now going by the name
Krakoa Man or something.
yeah, Krakoa Man, now have taken over. It looks like whatever was left of the Hellfire Club, and they're kind of like they're like controlling people in there or something. I don't know what's going on with that. So you know, it was fine. I don't mind Kamala Khan as an X-Men, but I also I kind of preferred when she was doing her own thing, kind of like Spider-Man does his own thing. You know what I mean? Like I don't really like her as much when she's with the team, let's say, like because I don't mind that she's a mutant and a Inhuman. I don't care about that so much. But I don't know if I love her on a team. I'd rather just be seeing her do her own adventures. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like they're forcing her into all these situations now because they're like, this is a more popular character, or they're trying to make her a more popular character. And, you know, I don't know if she fits in with the whole X-Men side of stuff. I don't know. It's weird. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you on that. You know, I don't see her as a mutant yet, you know, like just seems that hasn't gone through the ringer as most of them have.
And don't forget, there's a one-page barcode page, everybody. Chris, do you want to comment on this?
I didn't even know what that was about, so I didn't even scan it. But
yeah,
supposedly I think this one was the scan wasn't even working, but it's supposed to give you the last page and kind of a spoiler page.
Yeah,
and I'm not for it.
Yeah, there was a lot of upset fans at this whole new thing that they've been doing. In case you guys haven't heard, there was a whole thing in all the new X-Men books where the last page, you actually have to scan it to the QR code in order to get the last page. I just think people seemed a little inconvenienced by this fact that they're already paying $4 or $5 for a comic, which is kind of unheard of. And then on top of that, they're making you also scan to get that last page. They're depriving you.
Yeah, and then your spoiler page isn't in the comic. Like, what if that's a new character that, you know, turns out to be, you know, kind of go through the roof? Oh, I got the scan of the page. That doesn't do anything for me, at least.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm not overly too bothered by it, but it is kind of stupid. I do agree with that part of it. But yeah, I like Ms. Marvel. Like I said, I like the character. I don't know if she's gelling with the X-Men side of stuff. She's also not like a dick like a lot of the X-Men are. You know what I mean? Like she's a that like I like her. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like there's like a lot of the X-Men. They kind of got a little, you know, they're a little you know, like crotchety, these guys, because they've had to deal with all the being hated on for thousands of years or whatever, right? Anyways, what'd you give this, Chris?
I give it 3.5.
Yeah, I may have gone 3.25, but yeah, 3.5. It wasn't bad, but like you said, I just don't think it's for me either. I won't be continuing. Next up, we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is the first issue of the new Jason Aaron run. I got this cover here. Raphael Albuquerque. I think this is just the basic cover that they had, but they had many variants, of course. Chris, you read this? What'd you think of this?
Yeah, I just read this one online. You know, I've always been a fan of the Turtles. And I guess it's a new starting point or a new series. It's not like a reboot or anything, but we find Raph in jail, and you kind of get a lot of action in here. I'll say that. A lot of good fighting in this comic.
Yeah.
A little heavy on the brooding and stuff like that, you know, but I guess that's what Raph is all about there.
Yeah.
And, you know, I still want to see all the Turtles together, even though it's, you know, I know they're kind of putting one or featuring one turtle in each of the beginning storylines here, but I guess maybe when they all come together, it'll make it more impactful or something. But it was great art in there, great stories, but I don't know. I think it's missing some of the parody that I'm used to from the Turtles, maybe back in the day. but like I haven't really read much Turtles between then and now, so
I,
that might not
I
be the best.
I actually appreciated the more serious tone that this issue brought, though, because I think that I think people are open to having that kind of tone for the Ninja Turtles as well. Like you said, they're definitely. I hope there will be some fun as well along the way. You know what I mean? But like for the opening issue being a RAF issue, and I'm assuming these guys are all going to be down and out at the start of this series, and then come back together at the end of the arc. And I think that's going to be basically the kind of the bringing the band them to get together moment where they come back. I think each of the first few issues is supposed to be drawn by a different artist from what I understand. And then if I had to assume that at the end of it, they'll be back together, because it looks like whatever happened at the end of the last 150 issues or whatever point in the IDW series got Raph landed in jail, and then by the end of this issue he ends up breaking out essentially. But there's like, it feels almost like he's in another book here in this issue. Like it's like a jail story. It's almost like a Shawshank Redemption type of thing going on, like, and then he's working for the warden sort of, or trying to like keep an eye out for him, like to make sure nothing goes wrong with the inmates. And then there's like an inmate uprising there, it seems like, and then there's a moment where he gets framed for murder, but of course it's just ninja that are supposed to be like they're trying to pretend they're guards, and it turns out they're ninjas. And then there's a really good fight sequence in this, like like you said, there's some good action in this. The art's good. I really like this first issue. I think it was good because it felt different, and it wasn't like what you would have expected from the start of the Turtles. And I'm with you. Eventually, I do want to get there. But if you're going to give me an issue of Raph in jail fighting his way through there I with ninjas, I'm there. Like, sign me up. I thought this was a great start. I personally. But I get why you would also be like, yeah, this isn't the classic Turtles, right? So I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens, what Jason Aaron has in store. I trust Jason Aaron, though. So it looks like there's some crooked mayor type stuff going on there. I don't know. We'll see what happens. What'd you give this?
It was a good read, though. I'll still give it a 4.
You know what? I'm going 4.5 on this one. I love this first issue of the new direction with Jason Aaron. I hope he does a good lengthy run on this one. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. Next up, Chris, Power Girl 11.
Yeah, I've just been reading this online. I think I might have dropped Power Girl. And this one didn't really change my decision. I might be in there if they get some nice covers, but I think here she's basically going on a date. So at the beginning of the issue, she's bugging her roommate Omen. I think it was 15 hours for the date, so they have a little bit of back and forth pitter patter. And I think Lois Lane, our Power Girl here, works at the Daily Planet, and Lois Lane kind of takes her off her column and wants her in a more job. Then she ends up going on her date with this mysterious guy. And, trouble breaks through at the aquarium, and they realize that they're both superheroes. So, nothing crazy going on, or nothing earth-shattering. It's fun. Seems to me, it gives me the vibe of like what She-Hulk had, but just not as good. So, I'm not too upset that I'm not buying this, unless they really crank up the art style. The art's decent, but if they really leaned into it, that might be something that got me back in there. But for now, we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll just keep my ear to the ground on this one and see how it's coming along. I give it a 3.25.
Okay. Next up, I got Batman Dark Age number 4. Got this really nice Chris Samnee cover for this one. I really like that. This continues to be an interesting book. Mark Russell, Mike Allred, his wife Laura Allred on colors. They're always a team, those two. Again, now I think we're in Gotham in the 70s now, as this was progressing through the years. And I will repeat what I've basically said, I think, on previous issues. Superman Space Age compared to Batman Dark Age, that was by this same team, is still much better to me so far. And then 4 issues in out of a 6-issue miniseries, this is probably my least favorite issue, I would say. It was okay, but I don't know. They tried to introduce some, like, this is basically just a weird alternate take on Batman, this story. And like Superman, the other one served as like kind of like playing with Superman stories and the character as as well, like as a character piece and also like a period piece of like, different eras in America, essentially. Like, and like it was kind of stuff with like Americana, like like references, like different stuff that happened and important moments, let's say, in American history. Whereas this is just kind of more so focused on like an alternate take on Batman. I don't know if it's working the same as well as I thought Superman Space Age did. And for whatever reason, what they're doing here isn't as good as I feel like what they did on that book. And I thought it was going to be something of a similar, like there has been some stuff that's been referenced, but like about it, like history and stuff like that, but not so much, I would say, or at least, things are going over my head. And they introduced Nightwing in this issue. They introduced their version of the Joker in this. I'm guessing it's him. And it kind of is a Joker who's doing stand up in this. And it's kind of reminds me of the Joker from the Joker movie that they did recently with what's his name there?
Phoenix.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix, which I didn't care so much for. I thought it was just okay. I know there's a lot of fans of that movie, but the version of him and the way that he was drawn in this reminded me of that. So that was weird. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where some of the things are interesting that they're doing in this story, but not everything's working for me. And this issue is just like more so not a thing. There's things that were more so not working for me than they were. I mean, there's like a Andy Warhol painting or something in this, like in this one scene, and they show different versions of the Mad Hatter. The Mad Hatter is like a cult leader in this, and Barbara Gordon is one of his followers. So they're kind of commenting on hippies and then cults and stuff in this, like, and because he's just like a whacked out hippie on drugs, the Mad Hatter, and he kind of is like, that's what I mean. There's some interesting ideas in this, but it's also weird, and I like some things I like, some things I don't. So I'm still gonna finish the series, but this one was not as good. A really bad Robin costume in this, like Dick Grayson's like in a weird Robin costume that they got him in this, and there's this whole scene where Bruce goes to like talk to a therapist who's not Harley Quinn, and he ends up seducing her essentially. And then he's like, hey, it was the 70s. And then like, they keep cutting to these moments of him as an old man recounting these stories in like a group home. And in this one, he's like doing like, those like pool aerobic, like kind of movements, like, cause he's an old man. He's like trying to like, you know what I mean? Like moving in the pool and like trying to do like working out in the pool or whatever. And just weird stuff like that. I'm like, this is the weirdest Batman comic I've ever read. So I don't know. It's weird, man. So yeah, that's all I can really say about this one. I still give it a 3.5, even though, like I said, I can only give it that because it's my least favorite. But I still liked it enough. Like I have fun talking about it here on the show, but I can't say I would like be like, hey, you like Batman? Check this book out. Like it's like feel like what the hell is this? So it's different. I'll give him credit for that. Next up, I got Vengeance of the Moon Knight #7. I think this has one more issue to go this series, and then Jed MacKay again is relaunching his Moon Knight series. He's back officially in this issue. This is a Blood Hunt tie-in, and as they kind of alluded to, I think in the last issue of Blood Hunt that Jed MacKay had done, in this issue you kind of see that come to fruition. The Tigra and the other Fist of the Khonshu guy that's been in Blood Hunt. And the Wrecker basically free the Khonshu god, Khonshu, and they free him from some prison or whatever in this, and then he resurrects Moon Knight, Mark Spector, and gives him his powers back, everything. He's good. He didn't come back as an empty shell as like some of the other guys do apparently. So he's back in the mix. He's Moon Knight again by the end of this. Tigra and him have a passionate kiss because she basically helped save him, bring him back. She's been kind of like his girlfriend during this Moon Knight run that Jed MacKay's been doing. They've been seeing each other. And yeah, that's basically the gist of this issue. Really good art. Interesting stuff going on. I look forward to more and to see where Jed MacKay goes with his Moon Knight run after this. I think this has been a solid run of Moon Knight, and I think it actually worked really well with the event. Like, obviously, Jed MacKay's writing both things, but he kept both things in mind when doing the event. This series as a good lead into it, and therefore the tie-ins worked really well too, as well as like his Doctor Strange issues. Good on him. I think like the fact that he's been doing the main tie-in books as well as the event that of the characters that are affected in this, it really all kind of gelled together really good. Like this is one of those times I would say if you wanted to buy a collection of this event that has all the tie-ins in it, if it's like the Doctor Strange issues and Moon Knight and Avengers, like the things Jed MacKay writes already, I think that's a solid pickup because I think the Blood on tie-ins that he's been doing have worked really well with the story. I think you kind of had to like read everything he's writing to get like the full picture, let's say, of the event. So it's been good. I'll give this a 3.5 out of 5. It was a solid issue, and I look forward to more. Deadpool and Wolverine, World War III, number 3. This is the last issue of this one. I got this cool variant where he chainsawed Wolverine's head off. It's like Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe variant, so that was kind of fun. Here's my recommendation on this book because I feel like I've shit all over the last 2 issues of this one. Go watch the movie, everybody. I watched it last night. The movie was a lot of fun. Go watch Deadpool Wolverine in theaters. Do not pick this comic. This is a terrible story and a really bad villain. Good art, though. I will say that. Andy Kubert art is good. I liked the layouts were interesting. The art was solid throughout. Just a stupid story and a stupid villain, and this is a waste of money, and I regret buying this. There you go. It's 2.5 out of 5 for this one, and for the series as a whole as well. I think this was very unsuccessful. I don't know why they just didn't do a series of them palling around because the movie's out. Like, I don't understand why they just didn't have a simple team up kind of approach to this. Weird premise, weird plot. This whole plot of this series has been weird. Stupid villain I've never heard of. Terrible. Yeah, I really dislike this.
Are they merged there or something?
Yeah, I don't want to get into it. Yeah, Deadpool basically he merges into him at some point, like, and then they're both thinking like a shared mind because like Deadpool basically comes down to like they grind him down to like a blood substance of some sort, and then he ends up like morphing into Wolverine. Really stupid. I can't stress that enough. Unfortunately, and I hope this isn't a sign of things to come, I believe the guy who wrote this miniseries is the guy that's taking over with Ed McGuinness on Spider-Man when Zeb Wells leaves. I think it's Joe Kelly. Yeah. So Joe Kelly writes a good Spider-Man. I've read Joe Kelly write Spider-Man in the past.
Wow.
I don't know what this was. I hope this isn't like a sign of things to come, though. I will say that because that this
I'm
is
too excited about the new Spider-Man arc, from what I've heard.
You're not too excited?
No.
I know Doom's in it. Like, I've seen him on the cover, right? So
Yeah.
we'll see.
We'll see.
Universal Monsters Creature from the Black Lagoon lives. This is issue number 4. I forgot to write that there. Once again, last issue of this series. I also didn't like this series. The art was good. And that's kind of all I can say in addition to this one. It's basically stuff I've been saying the whole way through. I would avoid this one too if you're a fan of this character of Universal Monsters. I don't think this is a good play on that. They tried to do a different type of story, I feel like, but it wasn't all that interesting to me. Interesting art, good attempt, I guess, at a different type of story, but yeah, didn't work for me. And I give this a 3 out of 5 for this one. And again, I would say the miniseries as a whole as well. They've struck out 2 for 2 so far. These Universal Monsters for me, these series. The Dracula one by James Tynion was all right. I would say it was better than this, but that's not saying much. And I also think that I'm really banking on this Frankenstein one that Michael Walsh is doing because he's writing and drawing it. I'm a big fan of that. That's probably the best art team writer that I've been a fan of on these books so far. So I hope that's good because can't screw up Frankenstein, man. Like, come on now. Like Dracula, yeah, those stories we've all seen, a lot of Dracula stories as well. But if he screws up Frankenstein, I'm gonna be upset about that. All right, Chris. Void Rivals number 11.
Yeah, I might have to see a bit of the art here. You have the art for this one, right?
Oh, yeah. All right. Another Energon Universe book.
Yeah, you might have to take the lead in this one here. I remember reading it, I think. It was pretty good stuff, but I kind of don't remember what the plot lines there.
Yeah, so this is basically wrapping up the last couple of issues. We've learned more about both of these people's speech, like their people, the Zertonians, and the other, I forgot the other name of the other one. But this is coming at the end of a fight when they came across one of these other Transformers, and then he fought that assassin who's the brother of the woman character in Void Rivals. The government people, like their people sent out this assassin after them, and the Transformer helped take him out. And this is basically just wrapping up that whole kind of last couple of issues of them meeting this Transformer and him taking out that guy that was fighting them. And you actually see him come back up alive in this issue. Like they leave the scene and he actually rises up out of the ground, so he's still alive. And you also got some good Skuxoid moment in this. That guy who's like a traitor / like merc or something. It looks like kind of something like that. Like he kind of scours the galaxy, making deals with people and stuff like that. He's still in the mix, and he's also getting spied on. Like he's kind of getting closer to the truth of, I think, either some Energon or what's really going on with these people these two alien species that have been fighting each other for forever. So yeah, some interesting things going on in this book. Honestly, like you said, as Transformers has been getting not as great for not, it's been cooling off a bit. I think Void Rivals has been getting better and better each issue. I'm really invested in the storyline that they're telling in this one here. Yeah, this is the scene where you see Skuxoid talking to this other guy. Is any of this ringing a bell, Chris, for you, or?
Yeah, I remember reading a few scenes, but I might have read this late or something.
Oh, no worries. But yeah, I mean, by the end of this, like I said, that guy kind of is alive still. That was a big surprise. And the woman, once again, looks like she turns her back on him, this guy. Like, I don't know how many times this girl is going to backstab him. Like, it's been twice now where he's opening up to her. He's like, I don't know why our people are against one another. Like, we've taken off her mask. We can see that we're very much alike. Like he's okay. Like he's ready to accept that they've been living this lie this whole time. And it seems like she keeps getting pulled back into like, I'm sorry, like you're my enemy. And it looks like her family, like I said, they sent her brother assassin after her to take her out. So she has a lot riding on this. Her people are like definitely the more cutthroat, I think, out of these two species. And she's just not letting this fly. And this guy, it seems like, has actually an appreciation for her. He thinks of her as a friend, I feel like, at this point. And she keeps turning her back on this guy. So like, I'm kind of sick of this. Like I had enough of this now. I don't know. Something's got to give, because we're entering the last issue of the second arc now of Void Rivals. So I don't know what's going to happen there with the relationship between these two. Right. But good stuff. I've really enjoyed this series so far. It really has gone in places I didn't expect it to. Right. I mean, like even you, I know you were kind of like, felt like you were off the book, but now it's been interesting.
Yeah, I think that's the most interesting part of the Energon, and even some of the Transformer history in there, better than the actual Transformer book. So
yeah,
that was a surprise. And like you say, you had no idea where this story was kind of going, and I never expected it to be, like almost like so intricately entwined with Transformers.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's been good stuff. Yeah, I mean, again, if you haven't checked this out yet, I definitely suggest to anybody out there, if you want a different type of book that is connected to everything going on with the Energon stuff, but while also telling its own story about, like I said, like it's like a Romeo and Juliet kind of thing going on with two alien species that are supposed to be against one another, learning that they're not so different after all. That whole thing, that whole type of story. It's got a little bit of that going on too, but it's good stuff. What'd you give this, Chris?
I think if I remember correctly, I'd give it a 3.75 though. Like I remember it was a good read, and I'm liking the stories.
3.75 out of 5 for me as well. Yeah. The Sacrificers number 10. Got this one here. And with this issue, you get a artist change. The next 3 issues are going to be drawn by Andre Lima Araujo, who was the artist that's worked with Remender on A Thirst for Vengeance, which was a Rightful Thirst for Vengeance, I think was the name of the book, which I was a big fan of. He works with good artists, so I wasn't upset by this. What did you think of this, Chris?
Yeah, it's a good story. They kind of moved away from the pigeon boy, and it
Yeah.
was following the story of the princess. Was it Princess Solia or something?
Yeah.
And she's just kind of wandering out in the backwoods there, tries to go into a town, and everybody's giving the cold shoulder, and they give her that cold shoulder hard.
Yeah.
Like, I think she goes to like just some fruit stand or something. They tell them, get out of here, go to the church. And then the church, you go, okay, maybe the church will help her out. And then the church is even like 10 times worse. And she's trying to explain who she is. Nobody's believing her. And then what do they chase her out into some farm? And then I don't know what the heck happens there in that farm when she goes to sleep. Like there's like that black goo that comes out there, and you just kind of see it prancing through the town. Then she wakes up, and the freaking everybody in the town's dead. You think she would have stopped at that stand to get a freaking, I don't know, a bun or something there, but or at least grab someone's jacket if she's gonna split town. But she doesn't. And then at the end, finally, it reminds me of Games of Thrones when some pods start crossing. That's exciting stuff.
Yeah, I couldn't, I don't really have much to add to that. You covered it all there. I really think it was good of them to, if they're going to bring on a different artist for the next 3 issues to, like you said,
follow a different story almost.
Exactly. Yeah. And I thought this was a great issue. I really liked everything going on with this character from her perspective. Like, she kind of got a bum rap out of this whole situation too, this girl, because like, it was her parents, the ones that were doing these indiscretions. She didn't really know too much about that, but yet she's paying the price for the sins of the father. You know what I mean? Like one of those type of situations. So, she's the one that kind of really took them to task and was asking them about all that. And unfortunately, she got caught up in the mix of what happened with our bird friend there at the end of that last arc. And now she looks ugly. Like she's like all, she doesn't have her glow. The sun kind of powers anymore. And that's why that priest even was like, you don't look anything like her. Look at you, right? Like you're a disgrace. Like they would kill you if they knew you were impersonating her, right? And so she's kind of, like this rags to riches to rags type of story going on here. So yeah, it's one of those type of stories at this point, like walk a mile in my shoes type of thing, right? Yeah, it's really interesting. It's interesting to see how now she's forced to see how the rest of the people live as a result of everything that's occurred, right? So and it looks like this is the Bird's family here, possibly, right? Pigeon. It looks like this might be, or other pigeon characters. I don't know. Maybe they're gonna look to pick her up, Chris, and sacrifice her, right? So I don't know where that's gonna go.
No, yeah, you think they're friendly, and they could be they could be creeps too.
That's right. What'd you give this?
I'll give it a 4. It's good stuff.
Same. Yeah, 4 out of 5. All right, next up we got Zatanna, Bring Down the House, number 2. I got this cover right here.
Yeah.
Nice one. All right.
2 cover.
Yeah. What'd you think of this, Chris?
That's an interesting, good story here. The art's growing on me. I think it's good art for the style of the story. And I imagine this is more of an origin type story for Zatanna.
It's kind of like Zatanna year 1 or something like that.
Yeah, like they're catching her early in the career. Like,
yeah,
I thought, when this was going to be happening, it'd be a kind of a current story where she's got all her powers.
Same.
But here, like, she hasn't really used them all. Get a bit of backstory with her father and with the League of Casters or the House of Casters, wherever she goes to. But I don't see why this is a Black Label book, though.
No.
Like, this didn't have to be Black Label. It could be an Elseworld, but or whatever. But that's the only thing that gets me. If you're gonna, like when you see those ads before the TV shows, oh, watch out for, for bad behavior. Then it's like a freaking PG show. Come on.
Yeah, Skinamax. Yeah, it's my Baby Blue 2 over here. Yeah, it isn't titillating whatsoever. It's not even cheesecakey. The covers, if anything, are the most cheesecakiest part about this book. Not that you need that from Zatanna. But but like you said, like, why do it as a Black Label book if there isn't even going to be swearing or, what I mean? Like, it's kind of weird that they would. I don't think there's been cursing in this book, has there? And I don't know.
Well, if there's any cursing, it's just, with the character kind of where you just kind of have to put in your own curse word.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe just because it's like an out of continuity story or something. They're doing it in Black Label. I don't know. It's weird. That being said, like, yeah, it's a good story. I don't have nothing. I like the artist. I liked his work before this book. And like I said, I think this is the first thing I've seen him do for DC. So that's cool. And yeah, it's an interesting story so far. I did like the first issue more than I liked this issue, but I still, I'm sticking with the miniseries. It's good. And I don't think I've seen a Zatanna kind of like year one before her powers type of story before. So
Yeah, it seems like she's like the reluctant hero. She's always saying, I don't do magic. I don't do magic. And, even when confronted with all the stuff that her father was like some, respected,
yeah,
I don't know, mage or whatever they want to call him there. But, and then whatever this rabbit happens at the end, see where that may go.
it definitely seems though like these other magic users, because she isn't even self-aware that she can use magic. It seems like one, don't believe her, and two, don't respect her. It seems like
Yeah.
so. Like that's kind of interesting in and of itself. Also, she definitely killed that kid from her past, and I think her father probably wiped her head from her mind or something because, she or suppressed, like a suppressed memory type of thing, because that everything's leading to like something bad happened in that situation, and her father basically just like made it like not be the case anymore. Maybe he maybe he brought him back. I don't know, but clearly something happened there, and she did cast a spell. And her father seems like is suppressing whatever memories of whatever happened. It seems like so interesting stuff. What'd you give this?
I give it 3.75.
Same. Yeah. Next up, we got Local Man number 12, Chris.
We picked up this issue. And what's not to like about this Local Man stuff? This Local Man is great. I don't know why it's good, but it is. I think who is he here in they're in the basement or something, just explaining how that fright side in his dog was just crazy and silly but great.
Yeah.
And the dog was like just barks like rough. And then you got that fright side spirit in there. And I don't know who his new sidekick is. She's moaning and groaning the whole time that he's going to be teaming up with, I guess, the villain from the last arc.
Yeah.
And he just kind of keeps on like pushing her, putting her off to the side. And just like the back and forth between them is good. I can't say anything bad about this story. Like I don't think it moves too much in this issue.
No.
But it's just good reading. Perfect art for the story. I'm not expecting anything crazy out of this, and you get what you get some good stuff. Like it's a quick read and it's entertaining.
Yeah, and it always has really good snappy dialogue, I think, with it, but between the characters. And I also really appreciate sometimes the things that they are doing to kind of flesh out more of the Image superhero universe. Friggin' Shadowhawk shows up at the end of this issue, like, and he gives that person a package. And if you know 90s Image superheroes, Shadowhawk is like one of those guys. So the fact that he showed up in this, and they're even referencing all the other superhero teams in this, including that Blood Force, whatever they're called, that new like whatever, like there's a book out right now,
Blood 7 or something.
That one. Yeah, he references them, and he references Cyber Force in this.
Yeah.
So and then there's an interesting thing he comments on, saying that this cult leader person in the town that's like controlling people, he's like, she must have the same power that I have. And then she's like, how is that possible? And he's like, there's lots of people that have the same powers. He's like, every team's got a strong guy. Every team's got like one of these type of guys, like a teleporter. You know what I mean? Like, so I kind of appreciate.
Yeah, it's kind of self-aware that, like kind of what goes on. It's I don't want to say it's grounded, but it's more grounded in a real world, let's say.
Yeah. It just gives you something interesting to think about if superheroes existed in that sense. Yeah, it's Shadowhawk here. Yeah. So I like I said, it's always an enjoyable read. And I never really know what to expect. There's also a funny line in this one where he talks about how he was tripping out on shrooms previously, and then he's like, I thought you sent me your butthole. And she's like, what? I remember he referenced that scene where he thought that the cupcake or whatever was, I forgot what she said to him, like a pastry, and he thought it was like her butthole.
Yeah, he's sending news to him or something.
So that was fun. Yeah, that was good stuff. Anyways, what'd you give this?
Yeah, easy 4. This might even go 4.25 for me, but I'll stick with a 4.
Yeah, I'll go 4 on this one too. Good stuff. Harley Quinn 42. I got a nice cover here. I'll show off the cover. That's a good one here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, not bad. Got that cover here. And as we talked about on the solicits for DC last week, I think there's one more issue to go, and then the creative team is changing on this one. What do you think of this, Chris?
Well, I think this story's grown on me. Let's say I don't mind the story. It's just good stuff. You know, that stuff with Robin there. It's good. You know, I'm kind of getting used to the way they portray Harley here, and it's just more doing what she does, like that back in the multiverse, not the multiverse stuff, but where she had those two talking dogs, and I don't know, they thought she was the multiversal threat. That was just way too much. You know, if more of the series was like this back then, you know, I'd probably still be buying it.
I agree with you that this hasn't been as bad, let's say, as the
Yeah,
previous
I'm not
arc.
saying it's great. I'm just saying it's not as bad.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I took the words right out of my mouth. I'm ready for the new creative team. I'll say that. Yeah.
Well, I did like that thing with the cop too. You know, she kind of gets busted for kind of going over the line. Then Vandal Savage shows up, so like how that sort of ties in. And he's like, "Oh, I hear you're after the Bat family. Yeah, that's just what I'm looking for. You know, you take care of Harley. We can talk about your promotion then."
There was a funny joke in this one too, where Harley said something like, basically about her and Robin going both ways, because her and Tim Drake are both bisexual characters in DC. So, and then like it takes like a whole page of them.
Yeah,
Like,
a few panels later, he picks it up.
that's right. He's like, oh, now I get it. I thought that was funny. I was like, okay, that was genuinely good. It was a good way to reference the fact that they're both like that. And there was a good moment where like she was trying to like talk with him about like him, like, you know, how he feels.
Yeah.
And he's very like standoffish. He's just like, I don't want to talk about that. She's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, it's too personal for me or whatever, right? And she's like, I don't know what the big deal is. Like, are we not friends or whatever? So I kind of, that was
I
different.
like it. I didn't feel like they hit you over the head with this. You know, as in like that NYX, they're hitting you over the head with, you know, oh, you know, I'm an outcast. I'm, you know, nobody likes me and all that sort of stuff.
Right. Well, that's what I was basically trying to call out about that book, about them running around calling everybody racist. They're just like, I'm like, yeah, we know that they don't like mutants. Like that's been a theme for how many years now? You know what I mean? Like you don't have to point it out just because there's some young characters trying to like point out the, you know, how people are wrong. You know what I mean? Like I was just like, okay, whatever. But yeah, this was good. You know what? Yeah, this there was some good stuff in this issue for sure. I agree with you there. Not the greatest thing in the world, but it's going to end, I think, on a stronger note, let's say, than
the
rest of
start
this one was. Yeah. What'd you give this?
I give it a 3.5.
Same. Yeah. 3.5 out of 5. And then lastly, we got Blood Hunt Wolverine number 4. The last issue in this Blood Hunt tie-in here with Wolverine. What'd you think of this, Chris?
I think you might have to take the lead on this one too. I read this. This might have been one of the first ones I read, so I was looking forward to it. And doesn't this where Maverick kind of gets the cold shoulder from that Queen?
Yeah,
the Queen kind of reveals that Maverick was just being used.
That's right.
To get Wolverine as the king, and I don't know, he's going through. I think this is just another, like I say, with a lot of these Blood Hunt ties that aren't directly related to the main series, they're just a good way of having these characters go out and just, you know, have a little bit of a free for all.
So sorry, what were we gonna say? I was just gonna say, so yeah, like this is basically the final showdown between him and the Queen of Vampires here, or whatever she is, Alyssa, and you know, it also had like a nice little romantic moment here with him and this woman here, the British one who's a vampire that has the crossbows. I always forget her name, but you know, so there's that too. By the end of this, you know, he ends up, you know, making out with her a little bit at the end of this story, and they save the day, and like you said, he kind of helped out Maverick because he was being taken over by this vampire.
Yeah, so like Maverick wasn't even acting as himself too, so they kind of walked back him a bit too.
Yes, I actually really enjoyed this tie-in. I thought it had some great action in it, some great art. It was a fun, simple, straightforward tie-in mini series of a character. If you like Wolverine, this is a pretty good, straightforward Wolverine story. Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously they couldn't do too much because he's not directly involved in the event, but he was able to play around with some of the characters, let's say, that are in the mix of this event, or at least in this
it's sort of like a good reason why Wolverine wasn't in the part of the main group.
Yeah,
he was out there taking care of business on his own somewhere.
But you know what? You could have done a lot worse for one of these type of books, because some of these tie-ins, some of these tie-in event miniseries, they phone it in. They don't have good artists on it. They don't have good writing on it. This had neither of that. This had good writing, good art. I think this is a solid addition to the Blood Hunt event as well. Like, and I honestly, just a decent Wolverine story. I quite enjoyed this the whole way through, actually. So yeah, good stuff. What'd you give this?
Yeah, I'd give this a 3.75 and easy 3.75 for the whole series.
Yeah, I'd say this is a 3.75 out of 5. I may even go up I would even probably say a 4 out of 5 for the miniseries, honestly.
Yeah, you'd mind that. That's a sick cover that you got for the issue 4.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Isn't there one with the
this is not the one I got. This is the one I got. This is the Nick Bradshaw. This one though is the one for this series. I got all the Nick Bradshaw variants for this.
That's the one there. That's a sick cover.
But I had to represent the Nick Bradshaw Wolverine. I might be getting a commission from him at FedEx. More on that soon. More on that soon, guys. All right. So, that's going to do it for the books I think that we read that we want to talk about this week. Actually, one that I noticed that I didn't read or talk about for whatever reason, and I think it's because I was in PEI. I was traveling at the time when we did our show the week before this one. We never, I think, talked about this Nightwing issue. I
think we did miss that one.
Yeah, I didn't realize at the time, or I didn't read it on my tablet at the time because I didn't have the physical issue with me, and I just missed it. This was a good issue. I just wanted to bring this up very quickly. This ending, I've never seen that before. Bruce show up in the Nightwing suit.
Yeah.
Like, that for me, like, I was like, okay, this is interesting because everybody else has stepped into Bruce's costume, including Dick Grayson. Even Alfred has, pretended he was Batman before. I've never seen this though. So this is, I know it seems like
that was big. That was a big move.
Yeah, and it's just funny because he looks so bulky and like of a Nightwing compared to him. So that was a cool end to this, and I like the whole Nanda Parbat Deadman part of the story because that tracks. Deadman was a acrobat as well, like somebody in the circus. So like it kind of it tracks all this stuff. Like I think honestly, like it lost its way. I feel like the last couple arcs here, this book, but this last arc is pretty good so far. So I quickly.
Well, that's actually, now that you're talking about it, what I remember from this story is a lot of the stuff that happened or that they're talking about here goes back to a lot of the stuff that was going on in the series. Like how they have whatever Dick Grayson almost framed as Heartless, but he can't say he's Nightwing, but that's why Dick Grayson be gone because he's always fighting Heartless. So wherever Heartless is, Dick, whenever Heartless is out or Nightwing was fighting Heartless, Dick Grayson was nowhere to be found. So it's easy to put it together that maybe Dick Grayson is Heartless.
Yeah, that's why it may have even been my favorite of the week if we talked about it honestly last week, because that's why I wanted to say. With 2 more issues to go in this arc, it looks like he's sticking the landing on this ending so far. For me. Like,
I hope so. It's been a good run, except for the pirate stuff.
I agreed. Yeah, that's what I mean. I think the last couple arcs towards the end, it kind of lost its consistency a little bit, but there was just sometimes certain arcs don't click, right? As we know, it doesn't mean the whole run is trash as a result. So it's been really good. So, anyways, all right, Chris, new comic solicitations. We're going to take a look at the Marvel October 2024 solicitations, everybody. We're using the website comicreleases.com. No affiliation with them, but they're a good site to show the solicits off of. So shout out to them. All right, here we go.
Yeah, all I can say is these solicits, I'm not looking forward to many of them.
Oh, that's not good. First up, we got a new Storm book.
Out.
Yeah, me too. It's too many X-Men books, and
Storm is just all X-Men heavy. Like they're. Oof.
Yeah, Storm has never been a character. It's one of my favorite X-Men. Let's say so. I'm out on this. I don't know the writer on this either. Lucas Werneck, though, they got a good artist on this. But sorry, not the artist, the writer. I don't know on this book, but the artist is is good. So yeah, I'm sure for all you Storm fans out there, hopefully that's something good there.
They got to bring it back down. That's the problem with all the good X-Men. They've all freaking gone like Omega level and are all like all cosmic people now. You know, like you gotta get Storm back on a team, get Jean Grey back on a team, get them back to street characters again.
Yeah. Next up, we got a Mystique miniseries. I'm in on this. I like Mystique. I like Mystique. I like Declan Shalvey, the guy who's writing and drawing this book. So I'm in on this, I think. And if I don't pick up the issues, I'm definitely going to be reading it. Oh, those are interesting covers. That's cool.
Well, they better get on a good Mystique story here, not just more of why she's, Nightcrawler's mother and all that sort of stuff.
I agree. But she has had some other series in the past where they kind of lean into like her doing missions and stuff like that.
Yeah, like you've been kind of stuck in her history. They got to move on with her story.
Well, let's read the solicit here. It does sound like that's what they're going for. It says, how do you track a subject with a history that contradicts itself? How do you stop a force whose motives change like Quicksilver? How do you stop a target that can be anyone? That's the question that confronts Nick Fury as he stumbles upon a web of lies and espionage leading back to Mystique. This sounds like it's going to be like that type of tone. So like, yeah, hopefully that's the case. Like a super spy kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, cause she always was that person like that could like run these missions for the X-Men as a bad guy and as a good guy. So like, I think if they're going to stick in that type of story, I think with Nick Fury in the mix, that might be good. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that one. But I have high hopes for that one. Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu. This is the number one. This is the relaunch of Jed McKay's series, Moon Knight series. I'm not going to pick this up. I read this in trade, but I might read it digitally. I have been enjoying his Moon Knight lately. So Iron Man number one. This is the new Iron Man. No.
I'll probably pick up number one, but we'll see.
Oh, nice cover. That's a good one. I like that. Iron Man number one by Spencer Ackerman, Julius Ota. I'm not familiar with the creative team, but coming off of a couple of really good runs of Iron Man, honestly, writers prior to this. Then we got Blade Red Band number one. Pass. I like Blade, but I'm okay on this one, I think. Venom 38, Chris.
Yeah, I'll stick through with Venom.
Venom for the Venom War, yeah. How about Venom?
Yeah, maybe not. Like I'll be reading some of the Venom War stuff, but I'm definitely not buying everything. There's a ton of Venom War stuff. Holy moly!
How about Venom War? Are you going to be picking that up?
No, but I'll be reading it.
Zombie, it's Venom War. No,
I don't know.
Venomous. Any of these?
Nice cover, but
yeah, that is cool. Then you got Fantastic Four, Venom War.
Yeah. We'll see how they come out, how the weeks are when these ones drop.
Oh, Adam Warren writing it. That's cool. I like his art, but it's weird to see. Every now and then he will come back and do like a work for hire job for Marvel, that guy. Venom War Deadpool number 2. Venom War Lethal Protectors number 2. Venom War Wolverine number 2 of 3.
Who's writing the Venom War Wolverine? Is that the Tony Flex one or no?
It is. It's Tim Seeley and Tony Fleece, the writers.
I might get that just because of those writers.
The writers of Local Man, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll probably read that myself. I may not pick it up, but I'll read that one for sure. Yeah, I do like their stuff. Although the artist, Chris, Kev Walker, I think that was the Union Jack artist you didn't like.
Oh yeah, great.
I like Kev Walker, but anyway, Venom War Carnage 3, no, and Venom War Spider-Man 3 or 4. Oh, what's going on here? He's got a sword.
I know. If they're gonna give him like some super, or they say what he's gonna be Peter Parker, King in Black. Couldn't they freaking work on that costume a little bit better?
Yeah, yeah. Wolverine number 2. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I couldn't hear you there, Chris.
Yeah, probably.
You're like, it was a begrudging, yeah. You're like, yeah, I guess. Oh, he's fighting the Wendigo. All right. Exceptional X-Men 2. No.
Nope.
No. Dazzler 2. No.
No.
X-Men 5. Yes.
Yeah.
5 and 6. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think there's Scott Campbell.
Or 5 there is, not 6, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think after 5, that's at least I didn't see one for 6. If you do, let me know because I didn't see one for 6.
Yeah.
And it's not showing here, but there was one for 5. Yeah. So X-Force 4. I think I've dropped this. I think I pre-ordered the first couple of issues, but I think again, I got to make cuts because of all the new good things that, well, hopefully good things that are coming out between Marvel and DC. More so DC, it's looking like these days. But yeah, I think I pre-ordered the first couple issues, but I think I'm dropping X-Force now in issues anyways. We'll see. I don't know. Hopefully it's not that good because I'll be upset if I drop it. And why? Are you in on X-Force or no?
No, yeah, I'm out. Maybe read it if it's good, but we'll see.
Yeah, NYX, we're all out on that. Cool covers though. Phoenix 4, no. We talked about that as well last week, which we also weren't interested in.
Well, yeah, that Phoenix, there, that whatever that QR page or the QR code that revealed a pretty decent page too. That's why I'm pretty upset that that's not in the comic.
Oh, interesting. I didn't read it. Yeah, see, we talked about the book. Then we got Uncanny X-Men number 4. I think I might still be in with this. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think I'm out.
It really depends on I need to read the first issue to determine whether or not I'm pre-ordering this 4th issue. Let's say that. Because I think, again, I've pre-ordered the first couple of issues. X Factor, I'm in on this. I like the creative team. I like the idea of what this book is going to be. So I'm in on X Factor. Deadpool 7, no. Deadpool Team Up, 3 of 5. Are you in on this Rob Liefeld book?
I don't think I bought it, but I'll probably read it though.
Conquest 2099, 1 of 5, no. Number 2 as well. Crypt of Shadows, number 1. They're doing another one. It looks like it's an annual thing now, eh?
Yeah, I guess it's October.
Yeah. Phases of the Moon Knight 3, no. I guess he's got another. Oh, it's not Jed McKay. It's somebody else doing another mini series at the same time as the ongoing, it looks like. Then we got again no more Red Band, Werewolf by Night, Red Band number 3, which I'm out on. Marvel Zombies, Dawn of Decay number 2, no.
I'm on the fence on this one.
On the Marvel Zombies,
they're like fun. The Marvel Zombie stuff.
They're fun. Yeah, they are fun. I've read the original first few miniseries. They were good. Predator versus Black Panther number 3, no. Robbie Reyes special Ghost Rider number 1, no. Spirits of Vengeance 2, no. Wolverine Deep Cut number 4, no. Wolverine Revenge 3, yes.
Yeah.
Well, Red Band edition for sure too.
I think I might have missed the second issue though.
Really? Oh,
my
yeah. You might have to. If you're in trouble, you let me know. Yeah. I know your shop doesn't order in any new issues. It seems like, except for pull listers, right?
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man 59, yes.
Yeah.
And 60, yes.
Yeah, cool cover.
Which one's the Adam Hughes cover? Is it this?
I don't know.
There's an Adam Hughes cover for this, a variant, but
maybe they don't have it just listed there.
Okay, because I can't figure out like which one it was. If this doesn't look like him, any of these. This one maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, so this is the end of the Zeb Wells here. This is a special oversized finale here with number 60, and then we'll see what happens after that. But it's been a good run. Spider-Man Reign number 2. Sorry, Spider-Man Reign 2 number 4. Yes.
Yeah, this has been good.
Yeah. Spider Society number 3, no. Spectacular Spider-Man 8, no. Miles Morales, Spider-Man 25, no. Chasm, Curse of Cain. You reading any Chasm, Chris?
If it's a slow week, I'll probably read it, but I'm not buying it.
Spider-Man Black Suit and Blood number 3.
Yeah, I think I looked at some of the writers or artists. Nothing really
tickled
my fancy there.
Yeah. Spider-Gwen, the Ghost Spider number 6. Spider-Boy 12. Yeah, you're right. A lot of no's from me. A lot of stuff here. I'm not. They really need to. They need to shuffle the deck here a little bit. I think of some of these books, right? Let's see here. Ultimate Black Panther 9, no. Ultimate Spider-Man 10, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, with this whole new direction with the DC stuff and all the new titles dropping from them, they need a little bit of a shakeup on the Marvel side, it looks like. or we're just not interested in the lot right now. That's fine. Ultimate X-Men number 8, no. Ultimates 5. You still on Ultimates?
Yeah, still in on Ultimates.
Oh, nice cover. That's a good one. Yeah, I'd probably get that one. I like that one. Yeah, so am I with the Ultimates. These are facsimiles. Avengers Assemble number 2. No. Oh, these covers look pretty fun. I don't know. That's a fun one. I like when they do that kind of stuff. They show everything in the building. Wonder Man, what? Hercules, there's your boy. Looks like he's sticking around for a little bit. Oh, is this the team? Oh, it is too. Captain America, Hawkeye, yeah. I might read this online maybe because I really liked those issues of the Jed McKay where they were the team. So that's not happening in Avengers, I guess. No, Avengers 19. Doom. Yeah, it's gonna be. Did you hear the Doom announcement, Chris?
Yeah,
that's pretty big announcement, Robert.
Big announcement.
That's fun. I just hope they don't mess it up, but I don't think they will. I think if he's gonna come back and do that, I think it's gonna be worth his. He won his Oscar now, so they're like, yeah, here's a bunch of money. All right, I'll come back. Ultraman, Avengers, no. Namor 4, yes. I'd get this cover here. Nice. Captain America 14, no. Although this looks fun.
It does look like a good one.
That last arc, I had to jump off the book, though. It was not good, but that New Warriors 3, that looks fun, though. Looks like a good issue. Maybe I'll read that one online. Fantastic 426. I'll definitely read this online. Whoa, what is going on here? Is that Ghost Rider? I don't know what's happening there. Daredevil, no. Daredevil, Woman Without Fear 4, no. Daredevil 14, no. Incredible Hulk 18, no. Nick Klein's still on this book. Ugh. Immortal Thor 16, no. Are you still reading Thor?
No.
See, there's a problem when we're not reading a lot of these big title characters books.
Yeah.
I mean, Blood Hunters 3, no. Scarlet Witch 5, no. I dropped that now. Get Fury 6, yes. Last issue.
Yeah, I'll probably read that for sure.
Yeah, that's been good. It's been getting better and better. Alien Romulus, I think this is for the new movie. I know they have that. Oh, it's just the aliens and Star Trek stuff? Yeah, okay, none of this. All right, that's it. Yeah, not much. Not much. I don't know, Marvel. I got to step it up with all these new DC announcements. There's been some good ones coming out of SDCC this week. Jeff Lemire writing the new JSA series. I'm really excited for that. I think he's going to be a perfect fit for the JSA, man. I think that's a good team for him, honestly. I'm excited by some of these announcements coming out of there. Flash, he's doing. That's the Absolute Flash too, right? That he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, if you haven't, we're not going to go through all the news. Is there anything else you want to talk about, announcement wise, that you heard? Any other interesting stuff?
Well, the big stuff with, I guess, what's going to spin out a blood hunt of Dr. Doom. Sounds like he's going to be taking a bigger role in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, it's going to be the Sorcerer Supreme. Was I right? I didn't hear this. Was I right?
I don't know, but it sounds like he's going to be the hero of, and everybody's going to be sort of, I guess, owing Dr. Doom, it seems. But I don't know how Blood Hunt's going to end. So,
all right, yeah, I guess we'll see.
Sounds like he's going to be the hero of the world, and he doesn't seem like the person that's going to kind of take it lightly.
I guess that's because of the push of Robert Downey being announced as the character for the films, right? And he's going to be the next new villain for the next two big Avengers movies, right? The next couple of years, right?
So yeah, it might be like the ultimate sort of Dr. Doom that they're talking about.
Oh,
well, because you can't because it sounds like they're taking Iron Man is going to turn into Dr. Doom somehow.
Not in the movie.
Robert Downey Jr. as.
No, so not in the movie. So that's the thing. This is not based on Iron Man being Dr. Doom being Iron Man like the comics. I think.
No, I mean that having Iron Man be Dr. Doom somehow.
Oh, I don't think that's what they're going for. I think I thought he was just coming back as a completely different character as Dr. Doom. I don't think it's going to be Iron Man. Or are you talking about for the comics or for the movies?
No, for the movies.
Oh, I don't know. I thought they were trying to, maybe, who knows? But I at least from my understanding is everybody's under the impression that he's just coming back as a different character. Now, if they're going to tell a story that he becomes Doctor Doom, that's going to be something entirely different, right? So
I don't know. That's what I guess it's up in the air.
That's what you've been hearing, eh? Chris is in on all the rumors, man. This guy knows.
Let's see. The Spider-Man, the new arc, I guess. Once, what's the new writer there? The Joe Kelly. It's like that's the Spider-Man. It's supposedly Doctor Doom and Spider-Man have to.
That's
or
right.
Doctor Doom empowers Spider-Man with something.
Yeah, but, I read that. I read that, and then
Spider-Man back to his life. Let's see what's going on.
I read that. I heard about, like I said, all the new Jeff Lemire projects that he announced, which I'm really happy about. They talked about the Absolute books. They kind of give a little bit more details on what's going on with the DC titles like Wonder Woman and Batman and all that. Like that all sounds really good. It sounds like they have an idea and a direction in mind for that. So I guess we'll see.
I'm great for Spider-Man. You got Ed McGuinness there for 8 issues, and you have Spider-Man running around with a freaking Doctor Doom cape or a Stephen Strange cape on there. Come on.
I just hope, like, everything you're saying to me here, like, we always, like, we talk about on the show, like, Doom is better used sparingly. Like, I love when he shows up in a book. Don't get me wrong, but if everything's going to have Doom in it now, then it's like the Joker syndrome where Joker shows up and then he becomes less special. And then by the end of it, you're like, I'm sick of this guy. He's in all these books. Right. So like, I hope it sounds like that's what they're going to do, but I love Doom though. It would be very hard for them to like get to the point for me to dislike what they're doing with him, but we'll see. Like, I'm just saying, like, cause he is like one of my favorite villains. Right. So I don't know. I'm gonna stay optimistic on all this right now. We'll say that. All right, Chris. How about next week? What are you looking forward to checking out?
We'll load this stuff up here.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I got mine up, I think, here.
I got mine up here for Marvel.
All right, go ahead.
Let's see. Blood Hunt 5, probably the Red Band.
Yeah.
Not much here. Amazing Spider-Man 54. That's been looking good so far. Ultimate Spider-Man 7. Looking forward to that. Well, X-Force 1 is out there. Probably definitely read that. Probably a bunch I'm going to read here. And let's see what we got going for DC. Oh, not much. Oh, we got Batman Off-World is back. That one took a break for a little while, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
But yeah, nothing really from DC though for me. And is Image doing anything here? Well, I got to read Drawing Blood. Maybe try and catch up on that Grommets. But yeah, maybe it looks like it might be a small week again for me next week. See how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, depending what I read digitally, it's not that big of a week for me either. I got a lot of the same stuff you just said. Amazing Spider-Man 54, Blood Hunt Red Band number 5, the last issue of that event. Drawing Blood number 4, which has been really good. Grommets number 3, which has also been really good. I got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Black, White, and Green number 3. That's been all right. Anthology. Biggest release of the week. What if Donald Duck became Wolverine number 1? That's going to be a banger. Watch out for that one, guys. And X-Force number 1. I also got pre-order. And then
pre-order the Donald Duck becoming. Was it Donald Duck that becomes Thor?
Yeah, the Walt Simonson cover.
The cover for sure.
That's a nice one. That's like the homage to that. Yeah, this one's like the homage to like the I think it's like the John Byrne Wolverine cover or whatever. He's got he's roasting marshmallows. So, it's so and then some things digitally I'll read probably too. So yeah, but that's moderate size week there. All right, Chris. Your favorite book of the week.
Well, it was a small week. These were the two contenders, let's say. Rogues and Local Man, or Nemesis and Local Man. But I might have to give wrong one. Might have to give it to Local Man over Nemesis.
Nice. I love your hesitation always. You're like, I don't know why this book's good, but I like it every time. I think you're just running out of excuses. You like the book at this point.
I'm buying it now. And I've almost wanted to stop buying it just because. But it's good. Like, I gotta support the good ones.
Yeah, absolutely. No, but it's also one of those things that it went from Yeah, it went from like it's okay to oh yeah, this is actually pretty good to it only comes out on the bad weeks. That's why I think it's really good. To like, yeah, I don't know why this book's good. Just admit it. It's a good book. I agree. I think it's a good one. So yeah, there you go. I think you've picked it. It honestly might be in the running for your most picked book this year.
I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't.
Yeah, there you go. So, um, yeah, I think it was only 2 contenders for me this week. Maybe even hold on. What was the other one that I didn't get the physical copy of? Yeah, Nemesis, I agree with you, was in the running, but I got to go with Ninja Turtles on this one. Yeah, I did like this issue probably the most out of everything this week, just because it was something different, unexpected, and hopefully a good new direction for the Turtles. I haven't read monthly Turtles comics other than like a couple of miniseries here and there for a while, and one of my favorite writers is on the book. So, yeah, I like this a lot. So, yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1 is my favorite of the week this week. So, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, hopefully it continues to be good. But I think as a runner-up, though, would have been Nemesis Rogues Gallery as well this week, just because it was so ridiculous. that character, and the violence and everything in that book is always like crazy, right? So yeah, good stuff. Shout out to Mark Miller, of course, as always, for his zaniness in those books and that character. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this week. Again, thank you for tuning in, like and subscribe, and we'll see you here next week as always. And thank you as always, Chris. Later.
All right. Thank you. It's good fun.
Later.
Later.